Air Force's mysterious X-37B spaceplane just broke an orbital record and we still don't know why it's there. The X-37B mystery. The U.S. Air Force's unmanned X-37B spaceplane has flown 3 previous secret missions to date. Each time it has carried a mystery payload on long-duration flights in Earth orbit. The spacecraft looks similar to NASA's Space Shuttle but is much smaller. The X-37B is about 8.8 meters long and 2.9 meters tall. It has a wingspan of just less than 4.6 meters. At launch, it weighs 4,990 kilograms. The craft is taken into orbit on a rocket but lands like the Space Shuttle by gliding down to Earth. While its main mission payload is a mystery, NASA has revealed it has a materials experiment aboard. The Planetary Society is tagging along with the solar-sailed MO-10 CubeSat nanosatellites are also taking a piggyback ride into orbit. One of the most mysterious craft ever to be flown by the U.S. military has now been in orbit for a record 677 days. The X-37B spaceplane, known as Orbital Test Vehicle 4, broke the record on Saturday after surpassing 674 days. While some details of its payload have been revealed, we still do not know exactly what's on board the spacecraft, or its mission. Theories have ranged from it being a space bomber, to a clandestine probe designed to take out spy satellites. Top 4 conspiracy theories. The spaceplane is a spy plane. The leading theory appears to be that the unmanned spaceplane is a shuttle-shaped surveillance vehicle. It could be a space bomber. This is the least likely theory, according to T7 Aftergood, a secrecy expert at the Federation of American Scientists. He claims the US doesn't need this capability. It is on a mission is to take out satellites. This activity would be easily traceable, making it unlikely to stay a secret. The X-37B deploys spy satellites. Instead of destroying them, the theory suggests that the spaceplane's orbit matches up to where deployed satellites would work best for spying on other countries. The previous record was 674 days, set during OTV-3, which lasted from December 2012 to October 2014. Earlier X-37B flights have been known to land at Vandenberg Air Force Base in California, and recent plans to consolidate launch and landing activities could mean vehicles touch down at the shuttle landing facility at NASA's Kennedy Space Center, Spacecom reports. But, where and when the mysterious spaceplane will really land remains a mystery. The landing date will be determined based on the completion of the program's on-orbit demonstrations and objectives for this mission, Captain Anne-Marie Nicelli, an Air Force spokeswoman, told Spacecom. While the program has the capability to land at either KSC or Vandenberg, the landing location is determined by a variety of factors. The X-37B spaceplane, an experimental program run by the Air Force, launched atop a United Launch Alliance Atlas V rocket on May 20, 2015. It's said to be one of the most mysterious craft ever to be flown by the U.S. military. Last month, experts claimed it may be about to finally return to Earth, almost 2 years later. The historic shuttle landing facility at the Florida spaceport is preparing to once again host an end-of-mission landing as the Air Force X-37B mini spaceplane prepares to return from a near 2-year mission on orbit, NASA Spaceflight.com said in February. However, the Air Force claimed the movement was simply a test exercise, meaning the mission continues. The X-37 is still on orbit. The program is conducting a regularly scheduled exercise this week, said Captain Anne-Marie Nicelli, Media Operations Officer at the Pentagon's Air Force Press Desk. NASA Spaceflight.com says even if there is a test, the landing equipment has been left in place for a possible landing. The mystery vehicle, essentially a technology test bed, is designed to orbit the Earth and then land like one of NASA's old shuttles. According to X-37B manufacturer Boeing, the space plane operates in low Earth orbit, between 177 km and 800 km above Earth. By comparison, the International Space Station orbits at about 350 km. While its main mission payload is a mystery, NASA has revealed it has a materials experiment aboard, while the Planetary Society is tagging along with the solar sail demo. Called light sail, it uses a propulsion system that uses the pressure of photons from the Sun, a technique known as solar sailing. 9 other CubeSat nanosatellites are also taking a piggyback ride into orbit. The space plane, one of 2 of the same design, is operated robotically, without anyone on board, and is reusable. It is 8.8 meters long, about 1/4 the size of a NASA shuttle. The longest X-37B flight lasted about 675 days. Touchdown was last October. There is no official word on exactly how long this one will stay up, although reports suggest it will return to Earth later this year. When the plane does return, it will land in NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Florida. A former KSC Space Shuttle facility will enable the Air Force to efficiently land, recover, refurbish and relaunch the X-37B orbital test vehicle, Boeing representatives told Spacecom. In an unprecedented disclosure, last year the Department of Defense did reveal some details about the X-37B main mission. We are investigating an experimental propulsion system on the X-37B on Mission 4, Captain Chris Hoyler, an Air Force spokesman, told Spacecom. The Air Force Rapid Capabilities Office will also host a number of advanced materials on board the X-37B for NASA to study the durability of various materials in the space environment, Hoyler added. He added the vehicle's mission cannot be specified but that it will enhance the development of the concept of operations for reusable space vehicles. Spaceflight.com revealed more details of the flight, which is described as a Hall thruster electric propulsion test. It is intended to improve performance of the units on board advanced extremely high-frequency military communications spacecraft, officials claim. F-satellites Hall thrusters are 4.5 kilowatt units that use electricity and xenon to produce thrust for moving satellites in space. The benefit of using electric propulsion is that its xenon fuel weighs much less than traditional hydrazine. This technology could help in the development of technologies to control satellites with better accuracy. However, experts claim that refining an advanced maneuvering thruster is probably just a small part of the vehicle's true mission set. One leading secrecy expert previously told DailyMail.com the drone is very likely be used to test technologies that will increase spying capabilities of the U.S. The U.S. government has a bottomless appetite for sensitive information, said Stephen Aftergood, a secrecy expert at the Federation of American Scientists. As powerful as our intelligence satellites may be, they also have their limitations, most notably the limitations imposed by their orbital parameters. It's conceivable that a spy plane would introduce new versatility into overhead reconnaissance. The X-37B space drone, otherwise known as the Orbital Test Vehicle, is blasted into orbit by a rocket. However, it lands using a runway like a normal aircraft. The X-37B is too small to carry people on board, but does have a cargo bay similar to that of a pickup truck, which is just large enough to carry a small satellite. The X program has bounced between several federal agencies, NASA among them, since 1999. The program's first mission launched in April 2010 and landed in December that year. The second space plane took off on March 2011 and came back to Earth in June 2012,